Okay, so this video is about what your Forsaken main says about you. So let's get straight into the video. And for the first main, it's Slasher. So if your main is Slasher, then you're probably new to the game or you just think he's really good. And you like close range killers that deal a lot of damage. But overall, this Slasher is a really close range damage dealer and more of an ambusher, but still really fun to play. And for our next killer, it's Cool Kid. If your main is Cool Kid, then you are also probably pretty new to the game, as that is the cheapest killer you can buy. And you probably really like how all of his abilities are different and how you can change through different strategies. And I agree, this was the first killer I got level 100 on, and he's very powerful. But the only bad thing about him is that he does not have any detect moves, and that he has the least amount of health. That is probably the reason why no one is using him right now. But the next killer is scary outside, but if you look at his details, he's actually really hard to play. That is John Doe. And if your main is John Doe, then you like his high speed or his high damage. And you probably like to trap, as John Doe is a trapper killer. But the reason why John Doe is hard to play is because he doesn't have a really punishing attack, and he needs to trap and do all that work to just get a kill. Yeah, I don't know what to say about him, so let's just move on to 1x1x1x1x1. If your main is 1x, then you must be an OG, as that used to be the most expensive killer to buy. And it is a long-range killer, so you think he's really good because of that. And while the 1x rework was a disappointment, that is probably why nobody's using him, he's still an overpowered and got a huge mobility buff. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, so the cool-looking high-range killer, that's all I can say pretty much. And for the next, Noli. Who did that? Must have been the wind. If your main is... Let me do my video! Okay, we should continue. If your main is Noli, then you like his good mobility and splash damage, as he has Nova and Observant. And he has pretty good damage. For mobility, he also has Void Rush, which is the second best mobility move in the game. And you also like his hallucination effect, fake generators, and how you can spot survivors if they have hallucinations without even using your abilities. So there are many reasons to be his main. In fact, that is my second favorite character to play. Don't blame me for glazing him. And our next killer is... this guy. Guess 666 was a myth. That's all I can say about his lore. Anyways, he's your main because it is probably a good mobility and damage character. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. If you're a Guess 666 main, comment what is good about him. But I guess you like his good everything about his blood hunt, cause I don't know about anything else. Anyways, let's move on to the... But who's that? This ugly dude. Who invited him here? Spectre, I'm looking at you. Alright, fine. If your main is this, then you probably like fast or good mobility characters, as this is the fastest character because of his last move. Wait, his damage is pretty good. No, what am I saying? He can't be actually good, right? Right? Fine, you guys won. Congrats, he's actually good. Still don't want to admit it. Back to the vid. So he's also actually high range and a trapper. Basically John Doe and 1x if they had a baby. I don't want to talk about him anymore. Let's just quickly move on the survivors. Wait, no. Ah! Phew. Got out of that one safely. Anyways, the first survivor is Noob, the starter survivor. Anyways, there are 3 free characters, but this one is automatically equipped when you first join the game. If your main is Noob, then like I said, you're probably pretty new to the game, as like I said, it's the first character you get and is automatically equipped. But if you're not new to the game and pretty experienced, then you probably like how he's one of the best survivalists, as you can run away with Bloxicola, block the damage with Slate Skin, and hide with your Ghost Burger. That's all I can say about Noob. Let's move on to the next one, which is Elliot. If your main is Elliot, then you probably will like his support abilities, as he is a support, of course, where you can throw his pizza to heal your teammates. He's not only the support, he's also a survivalist, as he has his second ability, Rush Hour, where he gets speed 3 for 3 seconds, easily escaping pretty much anything. Or you can use your Rush Hour in a support way, where you can use it to get to the player you want to heal quicker. He can also see if the survivor is damaged or not, because it reveals its aura when a survivor is damaged, due to his passive. Let's move on to the next survivor. The famous admin of Roblox, John Shedletsky. There are 2 Johns now, aren't they? Alright, John is a repetitive character. You slash, you heal, and you slash, and you heal. That's repetitive. I never really liked this character. You don't have 2 abilities as a sentinel, you can't block like Guest, and if you miss your slash, it's getting pretty boring. But if Shedletsky's your main, then you probably like how he's a mixed-up survivalist and a sentinel, as he can heal and damage the killer at the same time. That was the last free character. Let's move on to the actual expensive ones, with the first one being Guest 1337. Alright, if your main is Guest, then you are a sentinel. And I mean it, because Guest can block. Yes, he can block all the damage. Yeah, depending on the attack, of course. He also has another ability called Punch, where he punches the killer and stuns the killer. But there's one thing, you can only use this ability after you block. But if you block and punch right after, you get a parry, which is a better version of a punch. And his last ability is Charge, where he can charge at the killer, which will knock back him. But if he's your main, then you like his block and parry, cause it's blocking the damage, and you like knocking back the killer from high cliffs as he will fall. Alright, I'm pretty tired already, so let's get this over with. Builderman is David Baszucki, and David Baszucki is the CEO of Roblox. But Builderman is not that powerful, as he can only build stuff. A sentry, which slows the killer, and a dispenser, which heals players. But if he's your main, then you like being a support and being annoying to killers with his sentry. I don't care about his dispenser, because it is getting boring when you use it, so let's move on to 2-time. If your main is 2-time, you like playing sentinels, as it is a sentinel character, and as you can stab and backstab, stunning the killer. Also, if your main is 2-time, you are a pro at backstabbing. And you know where to place your spawn and not placing it randomly. You hear the sounds to crouch when needed so the killer wouldn't see you. That's all I can say about 2-time. Let's move on to Cool Kid. 07 and 7. If your main is 0, 7, and 7, then let's talk about Cool Kid first. So basically, 07 and 7 is Cool Kid's old account. And in Forsaken lore, Cool Kid is 07 and 7's son, and 07 and 7 is his father. Anyways, if here's your main, then you're a survivalist because, he is a survivalist. You can teleport, you can clone, you can do anything as a survivalist. It's super easy to survive with him. And the next survivalist is Taph, which is a cool, not survivalist, but a support actually, because he can place bombs and traps to trap the killer and stun or whatever slow him. And you like him. Alright, there are 3 characters left, and the next one is the hardest to play, which is Ducar. If your main is Ducar, you like being a support as he can actually protect survivors and they will take less damage, and you like boosting the survivors and being really annoying to the killer. But the next survivor is complicated and annoying at the same time, and the first female, and it is... If your main is Veronica, then... Her first ability is spray paint, where she can spray a wall that gives her area to skate with her second ability, skate, where she can bump off walls to be faster and be even more annoying to kill her. Her third ability is she can switch through different modes that can switch her skate ability. First one being face, where she can face through the killer and be faster and getting resistance. Her second mode is mobile, where she can jump higher and be even faster. And the third mode is bumper, where she can bump into the killer and not backing him like charge. While her last ability is battery, where she heals how much percent she has, and she gains more percent by doing generators or bumping, aka phasing, through killer. Whew. But if she's your main, you're a really good survivalist, as Veronica is a super duper mega survivalist. And that's all I can say pretty much. But also Veronica can also be sentinel to help her survivors with the bumper mode. Anyways, let's move on to our last character, the Gambler. If your main is Chance, then you like being a coin flipper and gambling for your every move. If you want to be risky, you can just gamble the whole game and get even more weakness. And if you want to be a lot more risky, then you can use your shot at 1 charge, as that can explode your gun. And if you want to be even more risky, you can reroll your health until it will be less than 100. That's it for Chance. Thank you all for watching by me making this video already 3 weeks. Yes, I made this video even before the last one. So, if you want for me to continue doing these cool videos, like, subscribe, and see you later.